It's Michael D. here. I just came off from the Thailand police station, and I just want to say that we've achieved great things. The Thailand police have just secured over 1 ton of endangered elephant tusks from the Bangkok airport. This is an amazing, amazing discovery because over 52 million baht worth of elephant tusks have now been finally controlled by the Bangkok forces. This 52 million baht worth of elephant tusks is worth about 1.7 million US dollars, and it is currently a great find on the job of the police. The police caught it in their customs unit, and they were able to send it back and make it one step closer to stopping this endangered trade of selling these rare tusks to other buyers, though they're extremely illegal because these elephants are a dying species. It goes exactly against our own Thai law, and because of it, I'm happy to say that it's a great advancement in police history. Thank you. Thank you. Here, let me get back to the news station, guys. But everyone, you should be celebrating. These elephant tusks are finally in good hands.
As you all know, our main story tonight is the border dispute between Thailand and Cambodia. Fighting actually broke out near an 11th century Hindu temple around 6:15 a.m. Saturday morning. The border dispute was between Thailand's Sisaket province and Cambodia's Phra Vihear province. A Thai soldier was actually killed in combat. This all started earlier Friday when a Thai villager was killed along with 15 Thai soldiers being wounded. There were homes damaged and many were destroyed, and 1 Cambodian soldier was reported dead. Now we have our sports/war expert, Ian Fabulousoli, to talk about this recent event.
Well, I think this is horrible. Cambodia is really overstepping its authority on the border. Thailand has a right to that, and Cambodia should not be stepping over it. The Thai do not want to fight, but they will to defend their home country and their home province.
It really seems ridiculous that people are dying just because of a simple border dispute like this.
That it does, Dylan, that it does.
And the fact that it's near a temple is just very disgraceful.
It's disrespectful to the religion. 2 high-profile yellow shirt activists from Thailand were jailed in Cambodia for espionage, and they've decided not to appeal the verdict of Phnom Penh, the capital of Cambodia. Under Cambodian law, they have 1 month to appeal before the term is final. They can be granted a royal pardon during their term, but it has to be after 2/3 of their term has been served, and their terms were 8 and 6 years respectively.
Now, for some history. Thailand originally began, the Thai people began to originally settle in the country during the 6th century. And they began settling and migrating around the current area, and by the 13th century they ruled most of the western area. Now, during the next 400 years after the 13th century, they fought sporadically with the Cambodians for land rights and control, mainly in the eastern region, while with the Burmese on the west. And Thailand was actually one of the few countries to not get an Anglo-Saxon control on it. And in 1824, the British attempted to gain a foothold in the country, but it wasn't really that successful. But by 1896, Thailand was considered an independent nation ready to rule on its own. Now, Thailand during this period was mainly a rather calm area, but a coup in 1932 took the monarchy that was currently in control, and I believe, let me check my facts, it was at the time of the coup it was an absolute monarchy, and during this coup it moved from this absolute monarchy to a constitutional monarchy. Now, after this large coup, World War II began to occur, and Thailand was greatly affected by this due to the Japanese forces. The Japanese forces automatically began to invade the country and later took it over. Once they took it over, the Japanese used it as a main central point to start military operations and make their battle plans. But after the Japanese forces were inevitably destroyed, Thailand became its own independent period again, and later began to have yet another coup in 1973. This coup led to some major political changes in Thailand's country, just due to a large amount of political instability. Now, this instability later led to some major changes in Thailand's constitution and way it would govern itself. It became much more of a democratic state, as the people wanted to have more control over the country. And this actually reached a point that in 2008, the constitution was changed in the country and presently is run by the people and the people have total control over the country, taking much more Americanized systems from the West to follow how they govern and rule their country. And that is the history of this great land known as Thailand.
Thanks for tuning in.
I'm Dylan.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Ian. And this is Thailand Today. Stay tuned for Thailand Tonight.
And Thailand Tomorrow.
And Thailand Tuesday.
Have a good night.
Stay classy, Thailand.